Very good morning, children. Hope you all are keeping fine. Today, in my geography class, I will be continuing with the old chapter, that is drainage. In the last week video, I have given you the introduction of this chapter. In continuation with drainage, we'll start with how there are various river systems in our country, have various tributaries, and these tributaries and distributary contribute together to the drainage river system of our country. We have read that how there are Himalayan rivers as well as peninsular rivers in our country, and they also form the drainage basin of our country. Today, I will be explaining about the various Himalayan rivers in our country. When we talk about the various Himalayan rivers, the first Himalayan river which we have in our country is Indus River. This Indus River originates from Tibet. Then from Tibet it goes to Jammu and Kashmir. It then moves to Pakistan and finally it merges up in the Arabian Sea. Children, it is very important for you to know that the river Indus is the longest river in our world. When we talk about the Indus River treaty was signed between India and Pakistan in the year 1980. It was decided that out of 100%, India will be utilizing 20% of Indus River water system for irrigation of our countries. Now, the question arises, where were these areas irrigated? These are those areas where we find the northern plains of our country. That is the Punjab, the Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and parts of Rajasthan. These areas use 20% of the Indus River Valley water as a result of which it is contributing to the major growing of cash crops as well as food crops in the northern part of our country. When we talk about the various tributaries of Indus Valley, children, you know very well by now that tributaries is that how these small rivers contribute together in merging up with the larger river body or larger water bodies. When we talk about the tributaries in our country, we talk about that when there is the Indus tributaries, the Indus tributaries are Satluj, Jhelum, Chenab and Ravi. I am repeating again, the tributaries of Indus is Satluj, Jhelum, Chenab and Ravi. The next important Himalayan river, which is the very important river in our country, is the Ganga River. When we talk about the Ganga River, we find that it originates from the Gangotri Glacier. And this Gangotri Glacier is the headway of the Ganga. It means that this important Ganga basin is that which is joined by Alaknanda at Devprayag in Uttarakhand. At Haridwar, this Ganga emerges from the mountains to the plain area. Children, you must be very surprised to know that Ganga is joined by various tributaries from the Himalayas. Why I am saying from the Himalayas? Because the origin of the Ganga river is from the Himalayas. We find here the major rivers which flow here. These flow rivers are the Yamuna, the Ghagra, the Gadak as well as the Kosi. When we talk about the origin of the Ganga basin, we find that it starts from Uttarakhand and moves towards West Bengal, and finally when we talk about merging up into a larger water bodies, we find that they merge up into Bay of Bengal. when we talk about the various kinds of tributaries, we find that these are the various rivers which bring flood in the northern parts of the India. Every year we face, you must have heard every year, that these rivers are which contribute to the flood areas in our country. These are the very important rivers, and with these flood we find that it results in the widespread damage to the life as well as to the loss of the property. Because whenever the flood occurs, recently you must have you must have seen in Bombay that the whole area is facing the flood situation, as a result of which many buildings have collapsed and there is a loss of life as well as property. When we talk about this in the Bombay region, it is because of the monsoon types, because of the Western Ghats, as I told you before. But when we talk about the Ganga, we find that as there is rainfall, the rivers are up to the level, more to exceeding to the level, as a result of which they create a situation of flood. As a result of which we find that there is extensive damage to life and property. But at the same time, this Ganga river is an important river which grows or which contributes extensively to the irrigation of the northern part of our country. Major types of crops. When we talk about the crops, wheat, sugarcane, maize, etc. These are rice. These are important food crops which are grown in this northern plain of our country with the Ganga rivers and its tributaries. Undoubtedly, they bring flood, but then they play an important role when they bring extensive agriculture to the northern part of our country. The last but not the least, when we talk about the Brahmaputra river, which is also a Himalayan river. When we talk about the Brahmaputra river, it rises in Tibet in Mansarovar Lake, and it is very close to the sources of the Indus and the Satluj. Here we find that when it originates from here, it originates from Tibet, but it enters in our country through Namcha Barwa. There is a pass in our country which is known as Namcha Barwa, and this Namcha Barwa is at the height of 7757 meters. From there, it comes inside. It originates from Tibet and then it takes a U-turn from Namcha Barwa and it comes in our country in Arunachal Pradesh. From Namcha Barwa, it takes a U-turn and comes from Arunachal Pradesh in our country. Finally, after touching Bangladesh, we find that the Brahmaputra rivers merges up into the Bay of Bengal. When we talk about the Brahmaputra river, we find here that there are various tributaries. Apart from tributaries, we find that when we talk about the Brahmaputra river, we find that it originates from Kemnang Dama. Kemnang Dama means that it's their name, the Brahmaputra name in Tibet, it is known as Tisangpo. And here we find that all kinds of tributaries are found here. What are the various kinds of tributaries which are found in the Brahmaputra regions? The Dibang, the Lohit, as well as the Kenula. These are all the various tributaries which are formed, and they form all these small rivers. They finally merge up into Brahmaputra rivers, and finally they merge up into the larger water bodies that is in the Bay of Bengal. Children, when we talk about the Brahmaputra rivers, we find it has a unique feature, and that unique feature is that it forms a very beautiful, largest and very beautiful delta. Now, where is this delta? It is known as Sundarbans, and this is made with the help of river Ganga. So now, children, hope you are quite clear with the Himalayan rivers. it is very important for you all to understand their various origin, the source. I told you that whenever we will be doing the Himalayan rivers, we will be starting with the source, the rivers, and then merging up into the water bodies. Since we will not be doing the question answers and a lot of extensive research into the various rivers, what we will be doing is we will be only doing the map work. I am giving you ample much of knowledge so that when we talk about, when we will be doing the map work of these rivers, the Himalayan rivers as well as the peninsular rivers, it will be important and clear cut in your minds that how it is originating and how it is merging up into the Bay of Bengal. And that is very important for all of you to learn. So now when we talk about these rivers, these Himalayan rivers which are perennial rivers, we find that they play a very important role in our country. They play a important, these rivers contribute to the economy of our country. When we talk about the Brahmaputra, the origin starting from the Tibet, we find that they also play a very important contribution in the economy, in uplifting the economy of our country. We find here when we talk about the overflowing of the Brahmaputra river several times, especially in every season, you must have heard that during the rainy season, these Brahmaputra river also overflow. Children, whenever there is water in the rivers, now when there is large amount of rainfall, these already the water in the rivers is at a level, and when there is overflowing of the water or there is extensive rainfall, we find that these rivers tend to overflow. When we talk about the Brahmaputra river, we find that because of large amount of rainfall, every year we hear that Brahmaputra river also, just I told you, in Ganga river also, there is a loss of life and property. Similarly, in Brahmaputra river also, because of high amount of rainfall, we find that the Brahmaputra river also contribute to the extensive overflowing of the rivers, which results in flood of our country. Every year we also hear that Brahmaputra river also causes loss of life and property. I will not be going into detail. We will be doing the map work after the next class. Thank you very much.